Our vertical integration capability gives us the flexibility in the fast response to the market trend.
Newer version that's a fully flying car. They want this on the road by 2030, and they've already done tests.
China's BYD is shaking things up again, and this time it is with a flying car valued at an unbelievable price of $4,999. BYD's CEO just revealed this innovative ride, and it's already gaining popularity.
For the first time, Chinese electric vehicle maker BYD has seen its revenue surpass that of Tesla's, hasn't it?
No one saw this coming, especially at a price that anyone can get excited about. Is this the beginning of affordable flying cars? And how did the company pull this off before anyone else? Join us as we look into the release of the first flying car by Chinese BYD, BYD's revolutionary flying car. BYD is one of China's biggest electric vehicle manufacturers, and it just shocked the tech world with its latest reveal of a flying car. This isn't the kind of thing most people expect to see in a price range under $5,000, especially when other companies working on flying car tech have mostly aimed for ultra-luxury models far out of reach for the general public. With this move, BYD is aiming to open up a whole new chapter in transportation, one that could change the way people think about commuting and travel, especially in urban areas. What sets this release apart is how it combines advanced tech with a price tag that's surprisingly accessible, marking a clear push from BYD to bring high-tech solutions into the hands of everyday people. So, how did tech enthusiasts react to this development? We're getting there. Stay tuned. While BYD has made its name in electric vehicles, EVs, and is already known for pushing clean technology forward, this flying car signals that they're aiming even higher. The company has long been about making advanced tech accessible, and this is its biggest attempt yet to bring something futuristic directly into the public's hands. It's a big statement from China, and it definitely puts the country at the forefront of this kind of technology. The news of BYD's affordable flying car took off immediately around the world. Media outlets couldn't resist the headline after all. This is the type of announcement that draws the attention everyone. Tech enthusiasts, business watchers, and everyday folks have been drawn in by the novelty of a flying car being priced for less than most high-end laptops or smartphones. You have news sites, bloggers, and social media buzzing about it, and people are sharing their thoughts on what it could mean. It's an unexpected development that caught a lot of industry players off guard, especially with how BYD has managed to keep the price so low.
Arguably never seen anything like this in terms of, the amount of support that China has extended to automakers specifically pertaining to EVs.
Some big names in tech have even chimed in with reactions, as people are curious to see where this goes. After all, there's been a lot of talk around flying cars, but most projects are priced so high that they remain out of reach for regular buyers. BYD's launch has changed that narrative, putting the concept on a path toward mass adoption.
Technology and design, they need to be also one firm unit. And for this, we are also very, as designers and as BYD generally, also our customers, very happy.
The announcement also reflects China's broader pattern of dominance in emerging technologies. In recent years, China has been leading the way in areas like AI, robotics, and clean energy, and now they're setting a benchmark in flying transportation. It's not just about being innovative, but also about redefining who gets access to these innovations. What really sets this flying car apart, though, is the price point of $4,999. It is a game changer in a field where six-figure amounts have been the standard. For years, people have seen flying car concepts come and go, most carrying high price tags and targeted at wealthy buyers or companies. BYD's flying car, by contrast, is the first realistic opportunity for regular people to consider a flying vehicle in their future. It's a huge step toward making the technology accessible, moving it from something imagined in sci-fi movies to something people could actually afford. This move also reflects a historical trend we've seen in the transportation industry. There was a time when cars were a luxury only a few could afford, and the same was true for airplanes. But as prices dropped and production scaled up, cars and air travel became accessible to the general public. Now, BYD is following a similar path, democratizing access to flying cars in a way that hasn't been attempted before. They're building on their success in EVs, where they've already focused on making clean energy cars affordable for a wider audience, and now they're applying that same approach to this new technology. The launch of BYD's flying car has certainly stirred up the competition, especially with Tesla and other electric vehicle manufacturers. While companies like Tesla have been investing heavily in autonomous driving and futuristic technology, BYD's focus on affordability puts a different kind of pressure on them. Tesla, for instance, has pursued high-end models with premium features, and while they've been exploring autonomous driving, the idea of a flying car at such a low price changes the conversation. BYD is signaling that they're willing to expand beyond traditional EVs and into uncharted territory, aiming to be not just a player in the EV world, but a leader in the future of transport itself. This move also raises questions for other EV makers about how they'll respond. The world is watching to see if Tesla or other players might take inspiration from BYD's approach and try their hand at creating affordable flying vehicles of their own. By introducing this model, BYD has effectively set a new standard, and competitors now face the challenge of either keeping up or potentially losing ground in this evolving market. With BYD pushing ahead with affordable flying cars, the pressure is on for others to innovate, whether through lower prices, new features, or entirely new vehicle concepts. This flying car also fits neatly into BYD's broader clean energy and transportation strategy. BYD has been positioning itself as a company dedicated to sustainable transport, having already made strides in the electric vehicle industry. The flying car aligns with their mission to reduce the environmental impact of transportation, as it likely uses electric or hybrid power, consistent with their existing focus on eco-friendly tech. This approach is not only a win for consumers who want more options, but also a plus for environmental goals, as it could encourage a broader adoption of cleaner transportation technologies. The buzz around BYD's flying car is only growing, and people are curious to learn more about its features and capabilities. What's the range? How fast can it go? What kind of technology powers it? These are the questions that are floating around, and we will be answering these questions in the course of this video. The video gets interesting from this point. Features and speculations of the flying car. The car is a unique blend of accessible, practical design and straightforward functionality. This car is all about getting the job done efficiently and affordably. Color options are said to be fairly basic, likely in sleek, muted tones to maintain that functional vibe while keeping costs low. In terms of materials, BYD has chosen lightweight yet durable components, aiming to balance affordability with durability. The overall design prioritizes ease of navigation through urban areas.
What we want to do is a real flying car that can drive on the road and fly in the sky.
So it's not oversized or complicated. Reports suggest it's compact enough to fit in tighter spaces, with dimensions around 12 feet in length and roughly 5 feet in width. Weighing approximately 1,500 pounds, it's relatively light for a flying vehicle, which helps with its flight efficiency.
We'll see our flying car, and will be the very important base for the next generation flying car.
The cockpit of this flying car is another place where simplicity shines. The controls are basic and intuitive, designed so even those who've never been in a cockpit before can manage. It's not cluttered with advanced controls, but focuses on core functionality. This straightforward layout lets a first-time flyer operate the vehicle without a steep learning curve. To add to the convenience, the car comes with retractable landing gear, so it can take off and land with minimal fuss. The aerodynamic design also ensures stable, short-distance travel.
And in terms of urban mobility, it includes both the air passenger transportation and air logistic uses,
with features tailored to make city flights smooth and efficient. What powers BYD's flying car is just as interesting as its design. The propulsion system relies on electric motors, which aligns with BYD's eco-friendly focus. Using electricity rather than traditional fuel is not only cheaper, but also much cleaner for the environment. This propulsion choice also lets the car operate at a lower noise level, which is a major plus for city and suburban use. As for takeoffs and landings, This car is built to manage them in compact spaces. Short takeoff and landing capabilities mean it doesn't need a full runway, just a small, clear area. It can lift off and touch down in parking lots or small fields, making it versatile for different urban environments. Safety is obviously a big priority with any flying vehicle, and BYD's flying car has several features to keep things secure. It has automatic stabilization, which helps keep the ride steady even if there's a bit of wind or turbulence. Altitude control is another key part of the safety setup, ensuring the car doesn't accidentally climb too high. Reports suggest that the flying car has a maximum altitude of about 1,000 feet, which is more than enough for city flights while avoiding regulated airspace. The car can fly at a top speed of around 80 miles per hour, and on a full charge, it's expected to offer a flight time of roughly 45 minutes. This gives it a range of about 30 miles, ideal for short commutes or trips within a metropolitan area. In terms of navigation, there's some speculation about added tech features like mobile connectivity. This could mean that BYD's flying car may have some form of GPS or route guidance integrated directly into the vehicle, helping pilots track routes or monitor their journey. Autonomous capabilities might also be in the works, although there's no confirmation yet on whether this version includes self-flying technology. BYD has also put careful thought into the car's battery setup. The company has plenty of experience in EV batteries.
China actually takes a carrot and stick approach. They set mandatory EV output targets for automakers, but they also offer cheaper loans and cheaper land and R&D subsidies to all those EV makers.
And this flying car benefits from that. It uses advanced lithium-ion battery cells, likely with BYD's own innovations to enhance lifespan and charge efficiency. On a single charge, the car can cover its maximum range, providing enough power for most city-to-city or short-distance trips. The charging time is relatively fast, estimated at about an hour, and there's talk of BYD developing a network of chargers specifically for this new vehicle class.
Chinese electric vehicle maker XPeng's flying car has made its first public flight, taking to the sky in Dubai.
Dubai is a world-renowned city of innovation, which is the reason they decided to hold the X2's first public flight event here.
We are make the step by step to the international market, and first we select the Dubai city because Dubai is the most innovation cities in the world.
Its flight represents a major step in XPeng's exploration of future mobility. The XPeng X2's first public flight was also highly supported by the Dubai International Chamber of Commerce. The Dubai Chamber has been deeply involved in the whole process since the launch of the project, providing strategic consulting to XPeng Aerot. Acting President and CEO Hassan Al-Hashemi attended the event and cited in his speech, "The first global public flight of the X2 flying car will change the game of future mobility. The flying car is the epitome of ambition, innovation, and future-oriented vision that has always inspired Dubai and its leadership. Today, we witnessed a historic moment that will define the next 50 years. What does this imply? It means that very soon we might be saying goodbye to the basic vehicles we have now, because flying cars will majorly take over the world of transport in the next few decades. If you have ever watched the cartoon Iwaju, perhaps you might be able to envision this future. During the test, the XPeng X2 received appraisal from the DCAA reviewers for the stability, as well as the standardization of the entire flight operation process. The XPeng X2's completion of the assessment is the first time China's manned autonomous flying vehicle has completed its operational risk assessment overseas. XPeng Aerot thus became the first company to pass the assessment in Dubai in the specific weight class. XPeng Aerot also released the crucial achievement of R&D progress of the 6th-generation flying car, including its configuration, exterior design, and air driving method. Equipped with both manual and automatic flight driving modes, this next-generation electric flying car, which can drive in the air and on roads, represents a true transformation from two-dimensional to three-dimensional mobility. As well as meeting daily travel demands, it can trigger the folding deformation system to achieve vertical takeoff and landing for a low-altitude manned flight. The invention of XPeng X2, however, was only the beginning of the age of flying cars. Not long after XPeng X2's reveal in 2022, the following year, China's Aero HT emerged with another two eVTOL flying cars showcasing fascinating new concepts: a six-wheel drive hybrid electric aircraft carrier van and a new version of the flying supercar with a fully concealed airframe. This aircraft, which looks like a sporty hatchback with a giant drone on top, is a 2-ton prototype of the X3 flying car. While it seems like Aero HT is fully committed to bringing some very weird ideas to the market, Chinese aviation authorities have also recently proven they're willing to roll out the red carpet for innovative ideas, as Europe and the USA continue to make strict restrictions on their aviation industry. The first concept Aero HT unveiled was what the company dubbed a land aircraft carrier. While not a flying car per se, this brutally futuristic six-wheel drive gray panel van is a ground deployment system for a 2-seat eVTOL multicopter which travels in the back. The deployment system is something sort of exciting. The van opens its rear doors and squats down on its suspension, and a boxy little aircraft is automatically deposited, folding out its landing gear. After the van nicks off, 6 little arms fold out from the top of the aircraft's cabin, each with a large carbon fiber propeller and an electric motor, and then it takes off gracefully. According to Aero HT, the aircraft van will run off a range-extended hybrid power system, enabling it to provide multiple recharges for the air vehicle and is capable of carrying up to 4 or 5 people. The company pitching the land aircraft carrier for emergency services use, but also as a privately owned toy. The second concept was an updated look at how the flying supercar is going to work. Where the original concept only used 2 very large propellers on fold-out arms, the company is now moving to a more practical 4-arm system with 8 coaxially mounted propellers for extra control and redundancy. But this long, low, sporty-looking car will still store its flight gear internally, where the critical flight gear won't get damaged by highway debris. The final specialty Aero AT showcased was the most impressive. It was a display of its innovative low-altitude ballistic parachute system, bringing an aircraft down from just 50 m off the ground. Following its reputation for mind-blowing technologies, Aero HT remains one of the most inspiring companies in the emerging eVTOL landscape. Certainly, it wouldn't be a surprise to see all of its inventions airborne within the coming months. Physics throws up no deal-breaking impediments to such a flying supercar getting off the ground. But if at this point you still think flying cars is a far-fetched dream, then you might need to rethink it again. Because the XPeng X2 display in Dubai was not the last the world heard of X2. Just late this year, XPeng Aero HT showcased its highly improved X2 flying car once again at the 2024 China Langfang International Economic and Trade Fair. The demonstration took place at the Beijing International Airport Economic Zone. While not its first public test flight, this occasion marked the first flight of a flying car in the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region.
China, a flying car takes its first test flight in Saudi Arabia. Pilgrims hurled pebbles at a pillar in a symbolic stoning of the devil during the annual Hajj.
The XPeng X2, known as Voyager 2 when originally launched, is more of a drone-type vehicle than a car. It measures 5,172 mm in length, 5,124 mm in width, and 1,362 mm in height, with a curb weight of 680 kilograms and a maximum payload of 160 kilograms. Unlike most consumer drones with 4 motors, the X2 is an octocopter, providing extra thrust and redundancy. Despite its compact and sleek design, however, the most important feature is its safety measures in case of motor failure: a built-in parachute. Moreover, with a flight endurance of 25 minutes, the X2 has undergone nearly 4,000 test flights and has been tested in various scenarios, including urban areas, sea regions, and deserts. Aero HT plans to offer an extended range option for the mass-produced version, presumably with a larger battery, to hit the market in the next few years. This demonstration in Beijing signified another milestone in the development of flying car technology in China, as the XPeng X2 continues to push forward for a future of urban and intercity transportation in the air. And you won't believe what this will do to China's economy. Will China be the richest country in the world soon? The low-altitude economy of China is growing enormously. It is not an exaggeration to say that they might soon become the richest country. Why, you might ask? The low-altitude economy has received strong support in China, and the construction of the infrastructure and service guarantee systems for the low-altitude economy has accelerated.
It's a rough road to recovery for China's economy. New data shows people are not spending enough money, the real estate crisis is unresolved, and investments into the country are drying up.
Which in turn fueled investment and gave birth to new business models like low-altitude logistics, low-altitude agriculture, and low-altitude tourism. The low-altitude economy describes economic activities in the airspace within 1,000 meters above ground, using advanced air mobility as the core, and the main carriers include unmanned aerial vehicles, flying taxis, and others, enabling air travel, logistics, and transportation. Aviation generally covers a wide range of civil aviation activities other than military, police, customs, anti-smuggling flights, and public air transport. It includes helicopters, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, eVTOL, as well as agricultural aircraft and distribution drones, and the low-altitude economy is part of it. In 2021, the low-altitude economy was officially incorporated into China's national plan.
Now, we zoom in on China's low-altitude economy, a term that's been identified in this year's government work report as one of the new quality productive forces.
In the past years, many emerging industries have evolved into new growth drivers in China's economy. It is no news that the country's technological and industrial innovation boasts a huge international market. The development of its low-altitude economy was once again another reflection of how the country develops new quality productive forces and drives the high-quality development of its economy. For one, the low-altitude economy will create more jobs. Boeing forecasts that the aviation industry will need 2.3 million recruits in the next 20 years, including 650,000 pilots and nearly 1 million flight attendants. In addition, because most of these aircraft are powered by electricity, they emit less carbon than conventional aircraft, contributing to the International Air Transport Association's vision of zero carbon emissions by 2050. On the Chinese mainland, Shenzhen is a leader in the low-altitude economy. In 2023, the city flew more than 600,000 cargo drones, ranking first in the country. That's not all. At the Shenzhen Low-Altitude Economy High-Quality Development Conference in early August, the city's senior officials said that the city will build more than 1,000 routes and 1,000 platforms for low-altitude aircraft takeoffs and landings by the end of 2025 to achieve the internationally advanced level in the field. According to Xinhua News Agency, China's low-altitude economy exceeded $70.5 billion in 2023 and is expected to reach 2 trillion yuan in 2030, with vertical mobility seen as a new productive force in areas such as passenger transport and cargo deliveries. Morgan Stanley also predicts that the global market for urban air mobility will reach $1 trillion by 2040 and soar to $9 trillion by 2050. Consequently, this will favorably increase China's economy in the future. So if you are an investor, you might not need to think twice where you put your money. In July of this year, the central government included the development of general aviation and low-altitude economy in the resolution of the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, pushing the popularity of the low-altitude economy to an even higher level than it was before. China's nascent low-altitude economy, made up of manned or unmanned aviation services at low elevations, right from the start captured investors' interest from around the globe. But this is no surprise. The return of such an investment will be enormous in the future. Initial plans for China's low-altitude economy used to be services such as small-scale deliveries of goods at elevations of up to 3,280 feet. But some localities are also eyeing an airspace of up to 9,840 feet. The emergence of XPeng X2 especially highlighted the country's target of developing this low-altitude economy, an objective that their government seems to be fully invested in. Upon XPeng X2's test flight in Beijing this year, the Beijing city government issued a draft action plan titled, "Beijing Promotes the High-Quality Development of the Low-Altitude Economy Industry, 2024 to 2027. This plan aims to establish Beijing as a hub for innovation in the low-altitude economy.
Tell people how we utilize the resources at the low-altitude spaces, make a rule, let people to follow.
It explores new business models for flying cars, including intercity commuting and inner-city shuttle services. Besides XPeng X2, however, the ever-growing low-altitude economy is also being steadily boosted by drones and other eVTOLs. Amongst other nations, China stands at the top when it comes to the increased utilization of drones and eVTOL in expanding their nation's economy. It's like they know what the future holds and are actively preparing for it by advancing their technology. Currently, more than 225,000 people have acquired the license for unmanned aircraft and qualified as drone operators. As the country is also loosening airspace curbs and granting incentives to develop the low-altitude economy sector, manufacturers in the world's top drone-making nation are testing ever larger payloads, and transport companies are planning air taxi services, both manned and unmanned. The sector will be an important driver for a new round of economic growth, said Luo Jun, executive director of the China Low-Altitude Economic Alliance. He added that specific ideas on how to build the low-altitude economy were not sufficiently clear. There is no mature business model for the low-altitude economy to learn from abroad, Luo said in a statement. Many companies are both enthusiastic and confused about the low-altitude economy. Luo said in early August, when the China Low-Altitude Economic Alliance, comprising more than 100 companies, was established, that the group would take the lead in guiding cities to quickly develop applications that can be replicated commercially. This implies that in no time transportation all over the world will change. The new age of transport. At this point, we already know that flying cars are not just fictional ideas, but what you are yet to know is that the future we have been referring to is now. Surprisingly, it's not decades away, because currently there have been many reports of these aircraft already being put in use in the most creative ways. Just this summer, fueled by ambitions to autonomously ship goods to destinations more than 2,000 kilometers away, Chinese civilian drone makers utilized a larger unmanned aircraft to transport cargo.
While Chinese engineers successfully conducted the test run of the country's biggest cargo drone to date.
Earlier this month, a Shanghai company launched manned helicopter services for travelers looking to cut travel time between Shanghai Pudong Airport and Kunshan, a city in Jiangsu province, to 20 minutes from several hours. In central Hubei province, the prototype of a civilian airship flew nearly 1,000 kilometers on a test flight last week, with authorities hoping to tap demand for sightseeing tours. Not quite long ago, a baffling invention stunned the public. It happened that tourists along the Beijing-Battling Great Wall enjoyed an almost magical experience thanks to the first normalized drone delivery route that was recently opened. The landing spot for this route is set at the South Nine Towers area of Battling. Before the advent of this new service, not a single stall or vending machine was set up there to keep the original state of the place, and visitors had to walk for almost half an hour to buy food or drinks. But now, with delivery drones in operation, consumers relish such provisions much easier and faster.
If you are in the middle of climbing the Beijing-Battling Great Wall now, and you place an order on your phone, you will receive your bottled water and lunch 5 minutes later.
Yan, Public Affairs Director of drone company Meituan, explained medical opportunities from drones, saying that through drone delivery, we may cover a route that takes 50 minutes on foot in 5 minutes and deliver heat relief items and emergency supplies to visitors. Besides low-altitude tourism, air taxi services provide transportation for tourists to designated remote outlying islands, as well as food delivery and emergency rescue services to isolated residents. As aeronautical and aviation engineering scholars at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University pointed out, the use of drones to clean the external walls of buildings is also another one of its many possible uses in this high-rise metropolis. Additionally, in recent years, more than 2,000 ficus trees in many districts of Hong Kong have been attacked by Fauda flamans, a species of moth, including 100-year-old specimens on the register of old and valuable trees. But as of now, drones can be deployed to carry out surveillance, prevention, and control measures. Without a doubt, The importance of developing the low-altitude economy cannot be overemphasized. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. Operating drones in cramped areas, such as in Hong Kong, which is packed with tall buildings and hosts a dense population, inevitably raises safety concerns. However, it will interest you to know that transport by aviation is in fact far safer than by car. According to U.S. government statistics, the fatality rate per 100 aircraft miles, 161 kilometers for U.S. carriers, was 0.05, whereas the rate for cars was 1.11. In other words, aviation can be said to be the safest mode of travel. The use of highly automated advanced air mobility, AAM, is expected to further heighten the safety level. If the future of transportation will be flying cars, China will likely have the upper hand before another country adapts.
Number 4. Ray Parking Robot. Here, we stop at another innovative parking system, Ray. The Ray Parking Robot is an automated parking system that can park cars with minimal driver input. Developed by a German company known as Serva, the Ray Parking Robot is currently in operation at the European Düsseldorf airport.
The company has developed a robot, a driverless transport system that picks up the cars and moves them on the ground without special installation.
Now, it is clear that this parking system makes life easy for drivers and car owners. But how does it work? The answer will amaze you. The Ray Parking Robot actually operates through an application on the driver's smartphone. On getting to the parking area, the driver usually leaves the car at the entrance of the parking area in a spacious, well-lit bay. After leaving the car there, they are required to press a few buttons on a wall-mounted display and confirm the deactivation of the service through the mobile app on their phone. From here, the Ray Parking Robot gets to work, ensuring that all cars are well packed without the issues of cars getting damaged while trying to open doors. When it is time to retrieve one's car, a series of actions are required, similar to those taken when dropping one's car for parking. Altogether, it costs up to €79 per week to make use of this service. Number 3. Zip Fastener Ship. Here, we come across a ship that is as fascinating as it is symbolic. The Zip Fastener Ship, created by the Japanese artist Yasuhiro Suzuki, stands as an iconic sight to behold, especially when in motion on the Sumida River surface. In accordance with its name, the Zip Fastener Ship is an incredible ship that creates an illusion of itself, unzipping the water's surface on the Sumida River with its chrome-plated, zipper-shaped design. So, how did the ship come about in the first place? Actually, the inspiration source for the creation of the Zip Fastener Ship will amaze anyone who cares to listen. According to Yasuhiro Suzuki, he got the inspiration to create the Zip Fastener Ship one day when he was looking down from an airplane window at Tokyo's bay. He caught the incredible sight of ships leaving trails that can only be described as a zipper on the water's surface as they moved. Seeing this, he soon came up with an idea to make the illusion more real. This idea soon birthed the Zip Fastener Ship, which is a remote-controlled ship that is 9 meters long and looks like a zipper. Intriguingly, when the ship is in motion, it always seems to be unzipping the waters. This is mostly seen on the Sumida River surface, which stands as the historic border between the Musashi and Shimosa ancient provinces, hence adding another layer of symbolism to Suzuki's work of art. Number 2. Carver S Plus Electric Tricycle. Running on another level of innovation, the Carver S Plus is a unique innovation of Carva that has blurred the line between what is possible and what is not. This new invention combines elements of a motorcycle and a car, creating something quite unique.
This is the Carver. It's a fully electric, free-wheeled car that's been designed specifically for the city. So we've travelled down to Kensington today to see what it's really like and to see if it could be the future of urban mobility.
The unique breed of tricycle boasts a speed of up to 80 kilometers per hour. This is enough to keep mouths agape, but there is more. S Plus also features a patented tilting system that allows for stability and comfort when taking turns.
But do you think such an age will be better than now? Tell us what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.
The first flying car you can buy has landed in the US. And by you, I of course mean the insanely rich.
Flying cars might be taking off sooner than you think.
Honda CEO Toshihiro Mibe just announced the release of the company's first flying car that defies everything we never thought was possible. The company is not just unveiling a car, they're presenting something that seems almost like magic. And do you know the craziest part of it? It comes with the price of just $4,999. Yes, it's like a daydream, but this is actually real. What makes these cars so unique and different?
Modular flying vehicle, providing a revolutionary solution not only in the field of 2D, but also 3D transportation.
What does this mean for the future of the automotive world? Join us in this video as we share all the exciting details about these flying cars. The Honda flying car that is unlike any other. Imagine having a car you can drive straight up into the sky. This isn't a big, roaring jet. It is a sleek, fancy car with seats for you and your friends. Honda means real business about these flying cars. Other companies, including those in China, are already putting forward their own flying cars.
Chinese electric vehicle maker XPeng's flying car has made its first public flight, taken to the sky in Dubai.
But Honda's flying car is totally different from all of it. Like it really stands out. Let's get into how Honda made this dream a reality. With their years of experience in car manufacturing and even jet building, Honda is the only company that has both Federal Aviation Administration certification for the body and engine of an aircraft. Over the years, they have been focusing on aircraft, focusing on how they can come up with advanced technology. Successfully, they have really been progressive in doing this, and now they have stepped into the game of flying cars. What makes Honda's flying cars incredible and outstanding in the automotive market is its amazing capabilities and features, and at a very affordable price. What are these features? Keep watching as we get right into it.
We had a lot of confidence with the design, which basically led us to the designs that you're seeing now.
Now let's start with safety. That is obviously the first thing one should consider. The car is designed with 8 little rotors for taking off and landing, and 2 larger ones for keeping it moving once you're in the air. If one rotor has an issue, the others take over, to ensure you land smoothly and safely every time. They even have a unique hybrid power setup, something that runs on both electricity and gas. While other flying cars need to be recharged often, Honda's hybrid power means you can go much, much farther without stopping. While other electric flying cars can manage about 62 miles on a single charge, Honda's hybrid design lets you fly up to 250 miles. The engine's technology is borrowed from their experience in Formula One trademark racing.
High-speed generators from F1, battery and motor technology from its hybrid and electric cars.
So the power behind the rotors is strong and reliable, making sure this car flies fast and efficiently. And while it's powerful, it's also easy on the environment, which aligns with Honda's goal to create a cleaner, safer world where cars don't just move us, but actually make life better for everyone. Honda didn't stop at just making the car safe and eco-friendly. The design itself is incredible. It has a sleek shape and spacious windows. This will make passengers have a beautiful view from every angle. It also has a special place for your luggage, so your stuff is safe and secure, even when you're up in the air. It has room for a pilot and 4 passengers. This flying car is perfect for family trips or for giving friends an experience they'll never forget. What makes Honda's flying car stand out even more is that they're not just thinking about today, they're thinking about the future. Honda sees this as the first step in bringing us closer to a time when cars, flying and otherwise, won't just take us to new places, but will bring new possibilities. They're looking ahead to a time when we might be able to go further than just our cities and towns. They're aiming to create vehicles that could even venture into outer space one day. By using all the skills they've gained over the years in areas like electrification, robotics, and combustion, Honda is opening up a world of possibilities. Some companies from China, others from the United States, are also racing to get their flying cars off the ground.
San Mateo-based company Aleph Aeronautics announced that the Federal Aviation Administration has approved its Model A flying car, making it the first car approved for use of this nature in the U.S.
But Honda's model, with its carefully balanced design and robust hybrid engine, sets it apart from other flying cars. Many of these other flying car concepts rely solely on battery power, which limits their range. However, Honda's hybrid combines electric power with a small gas turbine to cover greater distances without worrying about charging every hour. While flying cars may sound wild today, Honda is working to make them as common as the car in your driveway. It's clear they're serious about changing how we think about travel, bringing us closer to a future where taking a flight in your own car is no different than starting your car for a grocery run. And with that $4,999 price tag, it almost seems like a dream, right? But Honda has found a way to make these flying cars affordable for people everywhere. It's as if they want to make the dream of flying, not just a luxury for a few, but a reality for everyone. This new step forward of cars will let us explore our world in ways we never could before. Of course, Honda is not the only company trying to make flying cars, but Honda's history of success and commitment to safety sets it apart. They're using all of their expertise from their work with robotics, hybrid cars, and even their experience with jets to create a car that doesn't just fly, but flies with style and confidence. But no matter how incredible these flying car details sound, there are also speculations generally about flying cars, and these speculations are just so hard to ignore. Stay tuned as we delve into it. Concerning speculations about flying cars sounds pretty exciting, right? For a long time, people have dreamed about flying cars, imagining what it would be like to escape the roads and see the world from above, just like a bird. But as incredible as this sounds, there are also concerning things to consider. Let's start with safety. Safety isn't just about technology and training, it's also about people feeling comfortable with the idea. For some people, the idea of flying cars is scary.
Before you're able to drive yourself, and then you get a license and you get out on the roads and you realize what a terrible idea this would actually be. Because the vast majority of people can't drive on the ground, let alone driving in the sky.
They worry about accidents or about something falling from the sky. This means flying car companies would have to work hard to gain people's trust and show them that these cars are safe. It's one thing for a car to break down on the road, but worse if it goes wrong up in the sky. One of the biggest questions is how these cars would actually fly. Cars are great at driving, and planes are great at flying, but putting the two together isn't so simple. Right now, flying cars like that of Honda, as mentioned earlier, use rotors that help lift the car into the air. For these rotors to work, they need a lot of power. But here's where the challenge comes in. Flying cars would need super strong batteries, or something similar, to give them enough energy. Batteries need to last a long time to make flying cars practical. After all, we don't want to be worrying about our car losing power while we're up in the sky. But with our current technology, batteries are only just getting powerful enough for regular electric cars. Making batteries that are light, last a long time, and can lift a car into the sky is not a simple thing. There's also the risk associated with pilots or drivers. While most people can drive a car on the road with ease, flying involves sailing through three-dimensional space, avoiding both buildings and other flying vehicles. Training requirements for operators of flying cars would likely need to be more strict than those for road vehicles, and there would need to be guidelines for emergencies. This level of training could limit the number of buyers who are interested in purchasing the car. And there's another issue to think about: the rules. Cars on the road follow rules, like stopping at red lights and driving on the right side. Flying cars would need their own set of rules, and they'd probably be a lot more complex than regular driving rules. Aviation authorities, which are the people in charge of making sure everything in the sky is safe.
The aviation system is governed by regulations. Just like the rules for driving on a road, regulations are necessary.
Would have to come up with these new rules. This would mean figuring out things like where flying cars can go, how high they can fly, and who gets to use them. Managing the airspace for flying cars is another issue. The current air traffic system is designed to handle a manageable number of planes with specific flight paths, destinations, and regulations. If hundreds or thousands of flying cars took to the air, the demand on air traffic control systems would multiply badly. Imagine the risks associated with congestion in the sky, where flying cars would share space with planes, helicopters, and drones. This eventually happening without a robust management system would be very chaotic and dangerous. The need for an organized airspace would mean creating new communication protocols, and possibly even technology that allows flying cars to automatically avoid each other, that will be like a smart driving system in the air. It's not even about individual concerns or new set rules that will come in place. Companies and our environment are to be considered as well. What would likely happen? You should know all about it. Sit tight as we share more. Unhealthy competition and environmental concerns about flying cars. Competition between companies trying to produce more of these flying cars has turned into something else. Each company has its unique approach, be it hybrid engines, vertical takeoff and landing technology, or specialized designs for urban environments. While competition usually drives innovation, it can also lead to shortcuts in the name of speed and profit. Some companies might rush their product to market to get ahead, and will end up neglecting safety standards, thorough testing, or environmental considerations. And again, the commercialization of flying cars could result in monopolies or exclusive partnerships, where only certain companies control large portions of the market. Pollution is another inevitable concern, and not just in terms of carbon emissions. Even electric-powered flying cars, which are heralded as cleaner, come with environmental baggage. Batteries involved in the extraction of rare minerals, harms ecosystems, and creates hazardous waste. Once these batteries reach the end of their lifespan, disposal or recycling becomes an issue, especially considering the high volume of batteries required to power flying vehicles. The amount of energy needed to charge and maintain an entire fleet of flying cars could also strain resources, and it will end up suppressing the environmental benefits that they aim to provide. Also, producing and maintaining flying cars could lead to material waste. If not managed carefully, flying cars will contribute to pollution badly. Flying cars will require a whole new set of skills. Unlike driving, flying demands a different level of awareness, including altitude, weather conditions, airspace, and emergency procedures. To ensure safety, serious training programs will be necessary, which will be time-consuming especially for a busy family man or woman, and might even be costly. And not to forget, the maintenance. Unlike road vehicles, flying cars would need regular and thorough maintenance to ensure all parts are functioning properly. In the air, even a small technical problem can have catastrophic consequences, as it's much harder to make an emergency landing compared to pulling over in a regular car. The cost of these maintenance will also make people reconsider purchasing these flying cars. All these challenges are hard to ignore, but the thought of owning a flying car is really exciting. Each problem from battery life, air traffic, noise, safety, or cost is basically like a puzzle that engineers, development team, and governments are working to solve. As they overcome all these hurdles, flying cars, especially the outstanding ones like the one produced by Honda, will change the world in ways we can barely imagine.
Brace yourselves, America, as China takes the lead in the race for flying cars. While we're stuck in traffic, XPeng Aero HT is revolutionizing urban transport, leaving us in the dust.
If you like big wheels, you're going to love the Shane, a new electric vehicle concept with what looks like 60-inch rims.
The rapid growth of Chinese automotive technology has led to the development of more advanced, secure, and energy-efficient next-generation cars.
Welcome back. Over the past 2 years, the number of Chinese auto exports jumped by more than half. Elizabeth Palmer shows us how more Americans could soon get the chance to drive a vehicle made in China.
These vehicles, equipped with cutting-edge driver assistance systems and electric powertrains, represent the pinnacle of modern automotive design. They are not just about technological advancements. They represent the future of transportation and have left the world in awe. Which Chinese cars are leading the charge in technological innovation, and how are they pushing the limits of the automotive revolution? Join us as we reveal advanced Chinese next-generation transport that shocks everyone. NIO ET9 Sedan. NIO is one of the leading Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers, and it recently unveiled its flagship model, the ET9. This model brings the company's lineup to 9 electric vehicles. While NIO intends to enter the US market, it focuses on its current domestic demand.
According to China EV Post, NIO plans to sell its first car in the US by 2025. The company will import its China-built electric vehicles into the US, rather than manufacturing them locally.
The ET9 boasts impressive technology, featuring a 900-volt electrical architecture and steer-by-wire technology. Here is a big fact. In terms of size, the ET9 surpasses even the extended wheelbase version of the Bentley Bentayga, measuring 209.7 inches in length compared to the Bentayga's 208.9 inches. NIO has coined the term landjet to describe the ET9. It features a powerful all-wheel drive system with 2 electric motors. A smaller 241 horsepower asynchronous motor powers the front wheels, while a larger 456 horsepower permanent magnet synchronous motor drives the rear wheels, resulting in a combined output of 697 horsepower. The ET9 is equipped with a 120.0 kilowatt-hour battery that operates at a high voltage of 925 volts and is capable of fast DC charging at speeds of up to 600 kilowatts. Although specific performance figures and range estimates are not yet available, NIO claims that under ideal conditions, the ET9 can recharge at a rate that provides up to 158 miles of additional range in just 5 minutes. NIO offers automated battery swap stations in China to enhance convenience further, replacing depleted batteries with fully charged ones in under 5 minutes.
The idea of swapping batteries on electric vehicles isn't exactly new. The technology is already available and growing fast in China.
The ET9 is the first NIO model to incorporate steer-by-wire technology, a feature expected to become more prevalent in the automotive industry. Like the Tesla Cybertruck, the ET9 eliminates the traditional mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the steering rack, relying solely on electrical signals for input and feedback. This technology helps redundancy in case of power failure, ensuring the driver's and passengers' safety. NIO has previously collaborated with ZF Group on steer-by-wire technology, suggesting that this supplier developed the ET9 system. Additionally, the ET9 features rear-wheel steering and an active suspension with height-adjustable air springs, further enhancing its driving dynamics. The ET9, like many other luxury Chinese vehicles, prioritizes the comfort and convenience of rear-seat passengers. Inspired by private jets, the rear seats offer a luxurious experience with reclining capabilities, an aircraft-style tray table, and motorized shades for privacy and noise reduction. That is not all. The ET9 has multiple digital displays, including a 15.6-inch central touchscreen, 14.6-inch displays for rear passengers, and a smaller 8.0-inch control screen in the rear. In terms of advanced driving technology, the ET9 supports higher-level assisted driving features.
Notably, the vehicle introduces a self-driving chip developed in-house, making it the pioneer in employing the advanced 5-nanometer process technology within China's automotive sector.
Thanks to its 3 LiDAR arrays. The Shenji NX 9031 provides the powerful computing capabilities required for these systems and is claimed to be the world's first 5-nanometer automotive-grade chip. This impressive technology can undoubtedly be a conversation starter for ET9 owners. The ET9 is currently available for pre-orders in China, with deliveries expected to begin in the first quarter of 2025. Prices start at approximately $112,000 at current exchange rates. Would you love to have one if the company eventually exports this model to the United States? Tell us in the comment section. Moving on to the next marvel of modern Chinese transportation, a train that doesn't roll along tracks. This will leave you shocked. Suspended maglev train. Have you ever heard of the world's fastest trains? Many of these high-speed trains originate in Asia. Interestingly, some trains travel above the ground, suspended beneath the track. China's latest high-speed train relies on magnetic levitation technology to travel through tubes up to 4,000 kilometers per hour. In recent tests, the maglev train reached 623 kilometers per hour, surpassing the fastest currently operational trains. While not yet in commercial service, The train achieved a new speed record of 623 kilometers per hour during a test of its low-vacuum tube technology in February.
In Chengdu, engineers are working on the future of rail travel, the maglev. Theoretically, it could travel at a flying speed of over 500 kilometers per hour. That is the dream. In practice, things are more complicated.
This marks a significant milestone for the project, as the train traveled stably through a 2-kilometer-long tube. The Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation has not disclosed the exact speed achieved in this test, but confirmed that it was faster than the previous record. Maglev trains utilize magnetic levitation technology, employing magnets' repulsive and attractive forces to guide, accelerate, and decelerate the train. This eliminates the need for wheels, brakes, and other heavy components, making maglev trains significantly lighter. This train can rival even the speed of commercial airplanes. The benefits of maglev trains will leave you speechless. Commuters can travel from greater distances to cities, and the increased logistics speed will positively impact businesses. With the potential to reach more than 1,000 kilometers per hour, maglev trains can compete with airplanes, offering a viable alternative for long-distance travel. Associate Professor Jonathan Kuldrick from the ANU College of Engineering, Computing, and Cybernetics states that a high-speed train like China's maglev would significantly help large countries. For instance, commuting 400 kilometers in approximately half an hour is like nothing we've ever seen. This would enable people to live in areas outside of major cities. Mr. Kuldrick believes that these fast trains could also be environmentally beneficial. He estimates that completely replacing regional passenger aircraft with ultra-high-speed trains in certain countries could reduce carbon emissions by 3 to 4%. Designers are pushing the boundaries of train technology. Mao Kai, the technical chief of the project, mentioned that the train surpasses the record of 3,529.6 kilometers per hour set by the SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft, the fastest human-crewed aircraft in history.
The SR-71, nicknamed Blackbird and Habu, based off the designs of the A-12 and YF-A-12, was first seen soaring in the skies in 1964.
Japan's fastest bullet train can only reach a maximum speed of approximately 320 kilometers per hour. However, Japan also has a 42-kilometer test track, where a maglev train has achieved a speed of 503 kilometers per hour. Dr. Laird said this maglev train will not enter service until at least 2030. When Japan's new generation of maglev trains becomes operational, they are expected to travel at a maximum speed of 500 kilometers per hour between Tokyo and Nagoya. The following vehicle on our list is a two-wheeler with astonishing capabilities. Hoverboard, Shane. This is the latest tool from Shane Chen, the creator of the original hoverboard. Shane is the first two-wheeled EV concept that is ready for everyday use. Chen, the inventor of the self-balancing hovertrack scooter, also known as the hoverboard, patented his creation in 2012. Chen holds 76 patents in the United States despite widespread copying by other Chinese manufacturers. Chen describes Shane as a groundbreaking moment in automotive history, marking the practicality of a parallel two-wheeled electric car. While the vehicle's exterior may resemble a toy, Shane is designed to accommodate 5 adults comfortably. The interior evokes the sensation of preparing for a futuristic roller coaster ride. When in motion, the vehicle's wheels automatically adjust to maintain balance. The creator believes that this design enables safe travel at high speeds. Shane, quote, S shifting center of gravity counteracts driving and braking forces.
Created by the inventor of the hoverboard, Shane combines several fascinating technologies. If you like big wheels, you'll love Shane, a new electric vehicle concept with 60-inch rims.
Ensuring stability comparable to a four-wheeled vehicle. The two-wheel differential speed control simplifies parking and maneuvering. The vehicle's large wheels minimize rolling resistance and incorporate regenerative shocks to convert damping energy into battery power. Although not mentioned, Shane's roof appears to feature solar panel technology. Chen expresses confidence in Shane's potential to revolutionize mobility and seeks partners to bring the concept to fruition. The interior lacks a traditional steering wheel and features minimal controls beyond those visible in the center for the driver and passenger. The next vehicle can float in an emergency. Keep watching to learn more about this jaw-dropping technology. BYD Yangwang U8, or floating SUV. The U8 was first revealed at the Guangzhou Auto Show on January 5, 2023. Sales of the SUV started on April 18th in China. Pricing was announced on September 20th, 2023. At approximately $150,000, the U8 Premium Edition was the most expensive Chinese mass-produced electric car at the time of its introduction. However, this record was later surpassed by the Yangwang U9 supercar in February 2024, priced at approximately $230,000. The U8 will also be offered in an off-road Master Edition, equipped with off-road enhancements such as a redesigned front bumper, a snorkel, and a detachable roof rack with a side ladder. This marvel features BYD's proprietary individual wheel drive technology.
BYD, the Chinese company that became the world's largest plug-in vehicle maker in less than 20 years, launched a new car brand called Yangwang,
the world's first exclusive intelligent hydraulic body control system for new energy off-road vehicles. With 4 separate electric motors propelling each wheel, this technology enables the traction control system to redistribute torque and maintain vehicle stability in the event of a tire puncture at high speeds. Additionally, the U8 can utilize differential steering, performing a 359-degree tank turn in tight spaces by rotating the left and right wheels in opposite directions.